Hey everyone, have you ever been super stressed out and gotten yourself all stressed out over something like an upcoming event? Even though the logical, rational side of your brain is telling you there's nothing to worry about, everything's going to be fine? Well, that's the frame of mind I was in recently. 4 of us were getting ready for a train trip from Denver to Sacramento, and that's exactly the way I felt. Here's the deal. 2 years ago, I took this same Amtrak route, and it was amazing. Beautiful scenery, mountains and rivers, lots of snow. So I went on and on about the trip and eventually promoted it so much that my friends agreed to try the same route. Great, right? So far so good. But now, fast forward a few months and I'm super stressed. What if there's no snow? What if it rains the whole time? What if the train has a long delay and we're in the dark during the most scenic parts? All this hand-wringing, even though the rational side of my brain is saying, hey, chill out. I can't control the weather. I can't control Amtrak delays. And even if things aren't perfect, the 4 of us are going to be fine, just hanging out, playing games, and relaxing. It's only a day and a half on the train. Plus, I was bringing a box of wine. There's nothing to worry about. We all met up in Denver, no problem. Our flight was on time. We stayed in a cute little hotel. It was in a cool neighborhood. Right across the street from the hotel was a repurposed school building. Inside it has a restaurant, brew pub, and lots of unique little shops. But even though we were really enjoying Denver and it was plenty cold, no snow. My nightmare scenario was starting to happen. I mean, Denver in February and there's no snow? Are you kidding me? The funny thing is, all this stress is entirely self-inflicted. No one else is worried, not one little bit. So we just had the one day in Denver, not a ton of time, but we walked around a couple little neighborhoods, checked everything out, bought some books and snacks for the train ride. The next morning, off to Denver's Union Station to board the California Zephyr. We booked 2 roomettes across from each other. These are the smallest of the sleeper cars. They have 2 chairs across from each other, and in the evening the Amtrak attendant stops by, folds up the seats in order to make 2 bunk beds. Price-wise, the roomettes are quite a bit more expensive than the coach seats, but one nice perk is that all your meals are included in the price. And the food's not bad, especially if you're comparing it to airline food, which I've often found to be barely edible. Hey guys, real quick, if you're finding this information useful or at least entertaining, do me a favor, like and subscribe. It really helps the channel and we appreciate it. So, except for the lack of snow, the trip is going really well. The train left Denver a little bit late, maybe an hour, nothing crazy. They served breakfast on the train, then we made our way to the observation car and got settled in. Little by little, the train gradually left the Denver area and slowly started to gain some elevation. At this point, still no snow. This westbound route of the California Zephyr actually crosses 2 mountain ranges. The first day, the Rockies, then the second day, once you get into California, you cross the Sierras. We continued to climb up the eastern slope of the Rockies. I think they call it the Front Range. And finally, around 11 a.m., I started to see a little snow on the ground. Yay! And shortly after that, we saw all kinds of snow. It was beautiful. All that worrying for nothing. I knew it. Once we saw the beautiful snow-covered mountains, I felt a giant sense of relief. After that, nothing to do but sit back, relax, and break out the box of wine. Which was terrible, by the way. Still, we had a great time on the train. It's a nice way to relax and reset from our hectic lives. That night, we all got the authentic Amtrak roomette experience. It's pretty tight in there once that top bunk is folded down. I don't think anyone got a great night's sleep, but we all survived, and it's part of the adventure. The next day, we crossed the Sierras, and I think it was even prettier than the day before. We went through some cute little towns, like Truckee, for instance. Who knew? There were a few minor delays, nothing serious, and we rolled into Sacramento around 4 in the afternoon. After checking into the hotel, we went out to explore a little bit and found Sacramento to be really cool. I feel like it's quite underrated. I didn't know what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised. There's a lively bar and restaurant scene, lots of street art, and a vibrant nightlife. We checked out 2 areas, Midtown, where we wound up at the Jungle Bird, a really fun tiki bar, and our street corridor. It's full of old warehouses and industrial buildings that have been repurposed into cafes and shops. The next day we did some last-minute sightseeing including walking all over looking for the Johnny Cash mural, which we found out was actually painted on the backside of our hotel. Unbelievable. 4 college-educated adults couldn't find a silly mural. After that, we headed to the airport and flew our separate ways. Really fun trip. Despite the fact I nearly gave myself an ulcer worrying about everything, someday I'll learn. Overall, great experience. If you've done an Amtrak trip or you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. Cheers, and thanks for watching.